I never knew you were such a great dancer.
And I never knew you held such great parties. I'm surprised Sebastius never invited me before.
Yes, shame on him. And if I'd known that you were such a charmer, I would have had him bring you a long time ago. But these parties do tend to get a little wild. So perhaps Sebastius thought it best to spare you. They're not always for the faint of heart.
Well, he did tell me that you were a special crowd, but all I see is people enjoying good food, wine, and life.
Yes, I suppose that is what we do.
That is certainly what it looks like. And I like a good party. Sebastius knows that.
So I take it you're enjoying yourself?
Indeed I am.
And the food? How was it?
I must say, I've had roasted duck with chilaxian wine sauce before, but tonight it was...
Extraordinary delicious?
Yes, extraordinary delicious. Well put. I cannot for the life of me understand why Sir Willicar complained about it, even having the nerve to say he thought it tasted awful. So rude. It's his first time at one of your parties as well, is it not?
It is. And he's been most rude. But now I know that this isn't his kind of party.
No, I shouldn't think so. For like you said, the food was extraordinarily delicious.
There is a secret ingredient, you know. One that makes all food taste better.
Sounds interesting. An exotic spice?
Not quite.
Well, then the secret ingredient must be Lady Luck smiling upon your chef.
I assure you, she has nothing to do with it. But it does involve divine favor.
Really?
Yes. The wine you're drinking, good, is it not?
Yes, very. What grape is this?
None special. A common grape from a nearby vineyard. Truly not worthy of a party such as this, were it not for the secret ingredient.
I see. Well, I'm not one to complain. Cheers.
Would you like some more?
Why, yes, please.
Anything else you'd like some more of, or just the wine?
Well, I'd like more of everything, I guess. The wine, the food. Yes, I could certainly go for some more food. And some more dancing. I think I'm having such a good time, I wish this party would never end.
Do you?
Yes.
It would be a blessing, would it not? To dine like we have this evening? Indulge ourselves in the pleasures and sensations of the feast. To party like this every day.
I don't know if I could party like this every day.
I believe you could. And trust me, the party has only just begun. There is more to come.
What more can there be?
Why, an orgy, of course.
I beg your pardon? Did you say...
Yes.
I...
Don't you like pleasures of the flesh, Filithius?
Why, yes. I'm just not sure how appropriate.
Forget being appropriate. It only limits us. And I do so hate limitations.
I suppose I do too.
I know you do. You're like me. Like most of the people at this party. And like Sebastius said, we're a special kind of crowd. And we like to satisfy our urges. Does nothing urge you when you look upon me?
My lady, why yes, but I'm not sure I'm prepared to... I mean, an orgy.
It is not one of the Callistrian kind. It is an orgy of feast and flesh, where you can indulge your desires, whatever they may be. There will be lust and pleasure, and the best food you can imagine.
Well now, that does sound tempting.
Do you know which goddess urges us to experience all and to satisfy our urges unapologetically?
I don't know. That would be Lady Luck, would it not? Cheers.
Her guidance is limited by moral and mortality.
I'm not sure what exactly you mean by that, but if not Lady Luck, of whom do you speak?
Lady Despair.
Lady what?
Despair. She's more commonly referred to as the Pallid Princess.
What? Urgathoa?
Yes.
What kind of morbid jest is this? For it is a jest, my lady. Is it not?
No, Filithius, it is not.
What are you trying to say?
I'm telling you that there is a way for you to enjoy sensations like you've had this evening every day. And not only that, but even sensations more tasteful and satisfying.
And what way is that?
It is a path shown to us by Urgathoa.
What? You mean through worship?
Yes, through worship.
Are you telling me you worship Urgathoa?
I am, and she gives me pleasures beyond anything I could have grasped before I became a worshipper.
I don't think I want to be a part of this conversation anymore.
Calm down, Filithius. Why so frightened?
Well, you just told me you worship Urgathoa.
She is a blessing.
You sound mad. Of course she's not a blessing.
How can you be so certain?
Because she's the goddess of the seas, and from what I know, as evil and corrupt as the hell she comes from.
Abaddon.
What?
She resides on the plane of Abaddon. And she's not only the goddess of disease, my dear. She's also the goddess of gluttony and on death.
Gluttony and on death? Well, that makes her even worse. Are you serious? You worship her?
Yes. And your reaction comes as no surprise, of course.
If this is not some clever jest, well then, I fail to see why you are laughing. And I'm sure your other guests would react in the same manner as me.
Am I interrupting something?
Ah, Sebastus. Just in time.
Yes, just in time. My friend, I do believe that it's time for us to leave.
Leave? But the party's just begun.
Sebastus, I don't know how to say this. Marianne has
Told you about the Pallid Princess.
What?
I told you this was a different kind of crowd.
Sebastus, she just told me that she worships Urgathoa, and I'm starting to believe she's being honest.
I know, my friend, and she is being honest.
What, you know? And you accept it?
Accept it? My friend, I welcome it. I am a part of it.
A part of it? What do you mean?
Sebastus was one of my first converts. He is now a most devoted follower of Urgathoa.
A follower? Wait. You're having a laugh, aren't you? I must admit, this is highly inappropriate.
We are the best of friends, are we not?
Yes.
And we trust each other, do we not?
Yes, we do.
Then trust me when I say, Marianne and I worship Urgathoa.
Sebastus, but we've known each other for years. You've never...
Never told you that I worship Lady Despair? Of course not. Look at your reaction. Here, have another glass. We usually don't go out of our way to convert anyone, but you, my friend, have shown all the signs needed to be a devout follower.
Of Urgathoa? Me?
Yes. There is a time and place to be introduced to the Pallid Princess, my friend, and I believe that time is now. That is why I brought you here.
You brought me here for a party.
Exactly.
To worship Urgathoa is the greatest of all parties. Life can be a party where every sensation is enjoyed to its fullest. If you like the erotic sensation of lust or the rush of the all-night drug, why should you limit yourself? Food should be eaten, not to survive, but to experience its sweet flavor. And if you really like it, why should you have to stop enjoying it? If the wine is good, then why should you stop drinking it?
Because otherwise it becomes gluttony.
And? Have you never eaten a meal that was so tasteful you would have eaten much more if not for the limitations of your own body?
I suppose I have.
Urgathoa is pleased by the sensations you experience. Your indulgence and pursuit to satisfy your appetites comes through her blessings. She wants us to experience and sense all of the bodily pleasures in the world. There is no such thing as excessive eating or greed when it comes to your sensations. Gluttony is a lazy word, used by those who are ashamed of their own desires. I suspect you agree. You do not look as if you limit yourself when you are hungry.
Well, I might have gained a few pounds. I beg your pardon.
It is not an accusation, but a compliment. Urgathoa approves. She demands we reject moderation and self-restraint at all cost. Instead, she urges us to relentlessly pursue our own gratification.
Do not worry, my friend. I too got scared when I felt the dogma of Urgathoa resonate with me.
It doesn't resonate. Not all of it.
No.
No! You know that worshipping her is illegal, right?
In most nations, yes. Seems only Gep understands her true values. There she is worshipped openly. But most mortals have little understanding of her. But of course, most mortals haven't read her holy text.
Her holy text?
Yes. Titled Serve in Your Hunger. It was written by her champion, Dason, who was rewarded with the defiled discs of Urgathoa for writing the holy book.
It is an extended meditation on the greatness to be found by sacrificing all for sensation. It tells us the truth in putting one's own gratification and sensations first. You should read it, Filithius. It would make it easier for you to worship her.
Why do you think...
Because it is who you are. You've always put your own gratification and sensations first.
With food, perhaps? But what about disease, eh? She's the goddess of disease, is she not? Is that something you approve of, Sebastus? People suffering and dying from illness?
It is the Lady Despair's way to strengthen us. She wants us to embrace disease and endure it. It is a test of faith. And if you die from your illness, it is because you have failed that test. Failed, Urgathoa. With her blessing, you need not fear disease ever again. She is the way to avoid getting ill, my friend. To avoid death.
Sebastus, you cannot be serious.
I am.
The wine. It's the wine. It has clearly clouded your mind.
No, Filithius. He knows a blessing when he sees one. And so do you.
A blessing? Perhaps you're right. Gluttony may be a lazy word for those who are ashamed of their own desires, and disease may strengthen us if we survive them. But there is no blessing in...
Undeath.
But there is, my friend.
Where? How? I don't want to stay here any longer. What was that?
The orgy has begun.
What is going on out there?
Like we said, the party is just getting started.
Don't worry, my friend. We will join them soon.
Why is someone screaming? Please, Sebastus. Friend, you're scaring me.
I know. I was scared myself when first introduced to the Pallid Princess. But you need not be, my friend. I brought you here, for I know that you, like me, will understand her ways.
How can you know?
Was the food and wine you've had today not some of the best you've ever tasted?
The food? Why, yes. Yes, it was very, very good.
That means you have Urgathoa's blessing.
What?
Without her blessing, you would have tasted what most would taste. A bland, spiceless, and boring meal, for that is how it was prepared. Had the food tasted like ash in your mouth, it would have been due to her anger. That was why Sir Willicar complained. Unlike you, he does not have her blessing.
But I don't want her blessing.
You do. Urgathoa will show you existence for what it really is.
Existence? You speak of undeath. That's not a way to exist. That's not life.
Nor is it death. Urgathoa was a hedonistic pagan when she was mortal. She wanted to enjoy all the self-gratifying sensations of the world. But as you know, she, like all mortals, wasn't able to do so. Not within the few decades the gods had decided a mortal was allowed to live. Why should they decide whether or not she was done with life and all its pleasures? Urgathoa refused to let Pharasma take her away from the life she so enjoyed. So great was her need and lust for the sensations of the world that when she died and her soul was taken to be judged by the Lady of Graves, she escaped the boneyard and returned to Galarian. And with that, she became the first undead creature in existence. And with her, she brought disease and the possibility for undead creatures to exist.
Undeath is a way to continue your journey through existence, to continue enjoying pleasures and sensations of life. The undead are not bound by the limitations of mortality.
You sound as if you admire this sort of abomination.
I do. I wish to become one myself.
An undead? Sebastus, why would you wish such damnation upon yourself?
Damnation? Damnation is to have a limited time to exist before the foul Lady of Graves decides your eternal fate. What is the use of a dead soul? Why should she decide what happens to you when your mortal flesh no longer can sustain itself? No. Urgathoa blesses us with the opportunity to live forever, to consume and experience sensations forever. That is no damnation. That is a blessing.
Perhaps.
Friend, you need not have the same aspirations as me to embrace the Pallid Princess. But can you imagine, Filithius, to live forever?
In her embrace is where you belong. You feel it, do you not?
Please, what is that?
Come, we'll show you. Don't be afraid. You are among friends.
What is this?
This is an orgy of feast and flesh. You recognize my guests from the party?
Yes, but some of them, they have fangs.
The ones with fangs are my spawn.
Your spawn?
Marianne is already what I seek to become. Yes, a vampire.
Do not worry, Filithius. You are among friends. Friends that will show you sensations and pleasures beyond anything you've ever experienced.
But who was screaming before?
Behold, among my spawn and guests.
Isn't that?
Yes, the unpolite Sir Willicar.
They are eating him.
Yes.
Sebastus.
Fear not, my friend. Come, embrace your curiosity.
No, I cannot.
The Pallid Princess grants you her blessing. Come, you must taste.
No.
Come, Filithius, and you will experience a sensation unlike any other.
Even those of us who are not undead find human flesh most delicious.
But he's still alive.
Not for long. You should taste him while his blood is still warm and running.
Trust me, friend. You have never tasted anything like it. Come.
Perhaps just a taste.
Yeah.
Well, my friend.
Delicious. Extraordinary delicious.
Indeed. Welcome to the embrace of the pallid princess.
Greetings. Thank you for watching the Tower of Tomes. If you like the content, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. Also, please have a look at the Tower of Tomes Patreon page. There will be a link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.